Hello, everyone. This is Miles Matias. Now, I'm honestly here just to talk a little bit about what I'm getting into with Proxmox. I got an old laptop, 512 gigabyte SSD, NVMe SSD. Then I have 16 gigabyte DDR5 RAM, just an old laptop. And I'm running Proxmox. I was very interested in AdGuard. That's my main motivation in starting all of this. But I have AdGuard running, and now I'm trying to think of what's next. I've gone through like tons and tons of videos, and I find points where I get stuck. Like, okay, I don't have Cloudflare set up. I don't have WireGuard. I don't have maybe a VPN service provider if I want to use like Jellyfin or Plex, and I guess protect myself from I guess using the torrent sites or anything like that. So I keep encountering these roadblocks in setting up I guess my home lab, and now I'm at this point where I'm just trying to think of maybe I'm just going to take a step back from all the videos I'm watching and just focus on setting up just some of the basics, like get WireGuard installed and really understand it. I feel like I have a really good handle on AdGuard, and I'm actually quite happy with it. Um, I have a bunch of bookmarks, but I made a Proxmox bookmark, and I have like my homepage here: Proxmox, AdGuard, Jellyfin, Portainer, WireGuard. Probably, and then I have Servar because I've been watching. I'll show you the two guys I've been watching, and I like them a lot. I think they're great. I've been watching Tech Hunt. So Tech Hut seems to be awesome. Like he's kind of got me as far as I am right now. And then another guy I really like is Barmine Tech. They just seem stellar to me. I'm very happy with them. But just to I guess introduce what I'm working on, and I don't think I'm gonna stop working on it. Um, AdGuard is great. I went into my router. They had a really good guide on what to do. So I went to my router. I guess I routed I don't know DNS traffic or something of that nature through the laptop, and it's blocking pretty much everything. Any type of ads, anything like that is getting blocked. And I notice, like, if I go to a website like CNN.com, for instance, all the ads are gone. All the ads are just basically gone. I kind of want to do this for like members of my family, like maybe get like a little Raspberry Pi and just, or even like maybe like an old. I was looking at Optiplexes today on eBay, and they're like it's like $200 for like 193 just for like a simple 4 gigabyte Dell Optiplex. Like we could put Proxmox on that and just throw AdGuard on there, and it could just run. That could be a good starting point for a lot of people with home labbing. So I'm pretty happy with AdGuard, and I think this is really the only thing I have a good understanding of at this point. I pretty much played around with all the settings. What I do is I'll do a Control A, grab all the settings, throw it into ChatGPT, and I kind of use both Gemini and ChatGPT, and I'll see which one gives me good answers, and then I'll grab answers from one and the other and just pass them back and forth. And ChatGPT and Gemini will talk pretty bad about each other, is what I've noticed. Like they have a bias that they're the best. So that's I guess a random thing I've been experiencing. But I think just taking a step back, I have Proxmox. I'm happy with that. I have AdGuard. I'm very happy with that. And I feel like I have a good handle and understanding on that. Now I think I want to really understand WireGuard. So I'm gonna. Found a video. I found two videos from Barmine Tech. My home lab will never be the same. Oh, this is just a random video I found that I was watching. That was really cool. But the ultimate guide to WireGuard using the helper scripts, which I've looked at that. And then Proxmox GPU pass through. Okay, see, I got distracted. I clicked on too much stuff. But he has two videos that I was interested in. And TechHut did mention AirVPN, but I don't think he's, from the videos I've been watching, I don't think he's using that anymore. But it seems like if you want to have a media server and use like QTorrent and all those things, it makes sense to have WireGuard and AirVPN working in conjunction. I guess to hide what you're downloading and all of that stuff. It makes sense. Another thing I'm pretty happy with is the helper scripts. One thing I've been doing is let me actually move. this here. So I've played, I followed TechHut and created the server and like Docker, which I don't really have a good understanding of. I made a Portainer. I had another Ubuntu. This is Ubuntu server. I had another Ubuntu server called just Ubuntu server that had CasaOS, and it seems like a good interface for Plex. I think Portainer and Docker you can utilize CasaOS, that I guess user interface that you get to download apps if you don't want to like be so command line heavy. But for me, like I want to be command line heavy. I don't want to just be stuck in a GUI all day. Part of this is just building the skills and just learning how this can benefit me in my future. So I think what I'm going to focus on is going to be WireGuard moving forward with the videos I mentioned. I think Barmind Tech has what I need. I've set it up with him before, but then I'll just like get upset and then just like shut it down, and then I'll go remove it. Like, okay, I'm gonna start over because I don't really understand it. So I've done that with like Nginx, Nginx. I've done that a couple. I've set it up completely and then just like tear it down. I'm kind of tempted just to delete all the server, and I've done like tons of work on this already. Like I was SSH'd in, I did Docker, I did Jellyfin, I got to my login, and for me, like if I have a hard time understanding it on a very deep level, it just makes me want to not give up, but like, okay, I just want to start over and then just start from scratch again. So I guess that's where my headspace is at. I made this video because I want to just do weekly updates and just keep myself accountable on what I'm working on. A few other things I'm working on. Let me show you. I'm working on a CCNA, so Cisco Packet Tracer. I was doing one at Germany IT. This was the Life of a Packet lab. I really appreciated this lab. Let me get out of that. I'm not doing that one. I'm on the subnetting one. Let's see. So I'm on subnetting 3, and then I'm going to get into VLANs tomorrow. But I hope in 2 to 3 months to be done with this course, and then probably within the next 6 to 12 months, do another course, maybe Keith Baker's or someone else's, and then take my CCNA. I think that's all I got. Oh, I'll just show you what I worked on. So Jellyfin. Yeah, I set that up. Oh, I don't want to do that. And obviously I have nothing. I was on Reddit and people said that they like will buy old DVDs, and like, I don't want to do all that. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm just trying to see what the best options are with possibly WireGuard and AirVPN working in conjunction, and then just setting it up how a lot of the guys on YouTube are doing it, and just a lot of the documentation I read from Jellyfin and Plex, which I think Jellyfin and Plex, I kind of want to run them both. But since I have the laptop, I'm still kind of building my own understanding of how all this works. Then eventually, I'll show you what I was looking at. Every day I go on here and I build myself a server. And I like with the RAM prices the way they are, I'm like, probably not gonna be able to buy anything anytime soon. But I'm thinking of R640. Build your own. Gen 2. I did this with ChatGPT already, so I already know what I'm looking for. I kind of want a 20 core, but I think that 6230N, because I'm trying to future proof it. I was gonna do 8 gig at 2933 just to keep it cheap, and then you can look at 8 gig like the ECC RAM RDIMM 2933 on eBay, and there's some pretty good deals. I think I found some like $89 for 16 gigabyte sticks. Like maybe buy a couple of those, put one for each processor. RAID controls required, but probably won't use it. Hard drive bay, I was just thinking of getting just the storage trays, 2.5 storage trays, and then just buying drives on eBay. I like SFP. I have SFP. I can't really see it, but I do have a switch. I do have a little rack behind me. I have a 2960 switch, my laptop that's acting as my server or my home lab, a 3750 G Layer 3 Cisco switch. Then I have an ISR 4331 router, which I actually have all of that set up running on my like TP-Link router for my home network. Let's see, iDRAC, iDRAC 49 power supply. I mean, I don't really need much. Like I don't need all this redundancy. I don't need much. And I kind of cross-check with Gemini and ChatGPT and have them fight together. The bezel, they're the same. I think the RFQ is like the recommended one. A boss card, I can like the boss cards are so expensive. 139 is insane. I have, let's see, like I think for family members, I'm probably gonna have them buy like $200 Optiplexes. So I have like a ton of DDR4 16 gig sticks, like literally a pretty massive amount. And then I know I have more NVMe SSDs lying around somewhere. And then I have like other computers, like other laptops that I have that have NVMe's. I know I got a 256 NVMe as well. But I got like 3 512 NVMe SSDs. So I'm probably going to get a boss card. And this is just me, like, you know, if I have the money, with everything being expensive, like really crazy expensive right now. If I have the money, I would just get a boss card from eBay for like 20 bucks. They're about 20, 30 bucks. I already looked that up. And then just put my 2 SSDs in there to store like the ISOs, the operating system, and all of that. I wouldn't need a boss card. I would just put Proxmox on it myself. Then the rails vary in price, but they're about this. So it seems like PC server and parts specifically for the R640. It seems to be pretty competitive with what's on eBay. It's like even this price, $924. You know, essentially, like I do have RAM, so like I don't need to buy more. And then, you know, 16 gigs total would be fine. Let's say I even went up to 16, so like each processor has its own set amount. You know, it doesn't bring it up that much. And then for drives, I'll have the boss card, and then I'll have what I have, and then I'll buy like some. On eBay, they're called SATA 3s, but I know they're just drop shipped from China drives that they have out there in factories, and I'll get like maybe 4 terabytes and just run like a ZFS RAID. I like RAID 10. Whatever ZFS and Proxmox gets me that, I'd be open to that. So this is the end of my video, and thank you for watching.